Hey Sagittarius, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to have you here always. My name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look at your energy via the tarot, astrology, and any channeled messages that come through. So let's get into it. We have officially moved into Virgo season. We already had our new moon in Virgo, however, but we're still in that new moon energy phase where we are setting intentions, kind of adjusting things that haven't really been working. That's what new moons are all about. Either adjusting what hasn't been working or recognizing that like it no longer sustains and you need to bring in more options. Especially coming from Leo season, it challenged us to put ourselves out there a little bit more, find courage, pride in oneself. And I feel like we're kind of measuring that up against like our ideas against the reality, like the reality of where we're at, what we can manifest, what we can draw in our way, right? Like there's a lot of tweaking energy, if that makes sense. Like I feel like as Pluto's moved into Aquarius, it is shifting the tide, the energy around allowing us to align with things that are more heart honoring, passion focused, maybe even a little unique, different. It's changing the overtone, definitely, even in the culture, all across the board. But we have to go through this refinement period, right? Of how to get adjusted, how to understand not only what we need, what we want, what actually is valuable and sustaining for ourselves, but then also places that we might kind of draw in more of the negative energy or just people, situations we don't want to deal with. Maybe that's a better way to say it. People that represent more learning lessons in our life, right? And we're definitely all in a period of time where we're making a lot of adjustments accordingly. But that's also why I like to start the readings off with an energy cleansing. Just set the tone, set the vibe for the reading. Cleanse out those places where we might be feeling blocked or limited. It is a really great time to set your own intention, especially if you have come into this reading with something on your heart or mind that you want Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give those over, be open to receive. It's a great way to personalize these collective readings because Spirit is always speaking to us. We just got to be open, right? Open to receive, open to listen. I also do personal readings. I offer a variety of healing wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you're looking for a rebalancing of self, alignment of your mind, body, soul, I do energy healing as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. When we are strong and grounded in self, which Virgo season really gives us the opportunity to invest in our well-being. And I would love to support in whatever way possible, obviously. That strong foundation helps us find happiness, fulfillment. It helps us align with what we desire, right? It makes manifesting that stuff way more easy. And again, I would love to help support in whatever way. All the info to get into contact with me, Sagittarius, is in the description box below. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being so that we may see and understand the messages clearly and help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama love. All right, Sagittarius, your energy feels a little bit heavy this week. Like I feel like you've had a load on your back for quite some time and you're trying to get that load off your back, or you've just been carrying a lot of like heavy things. It definitely feels like that lead in your shoes type energy, or you're just like tired, you know, like your body's tired, maybe even a little bit achy as well. And, you know, I don't feel like you're necessarily in that place where you're being, well, being so hard on yourself. Because I feel like you're really worn out, right? But I feel like you're also really disappointed with how things have gone. You know, maybe that goes without saying. Regrets are being highlighted, a little shoulda, woulda, coulda. Like I said, I don't get this energy of you being super hard on yourself because like you don't even have the energy to do it, you know? It's just more like disappointment. It reminds me of that 5 of Cups energy. When we, you know, just really wish it was different, wish it could have played out differently, wish we had more knowledge, more information at the time. But it's a learning experience. I love this. The cards never lie. And here's the thing. Sometimes we just have to go through things because that's what it looks like in your overarching energy. With this guide and learning card, we don't like those learning lessons. I don't really know why they happen. I guess so we can grow and evolve. That's like nature, the nature of life. But it sucks, right? And I feel like, but that's kind of what this was. It's growing in yourself so you can find, I see like stability and balance and like grounding, like knowing yourself, being in touch with yourself on a deeper level. Because you now understand the realities a little more. I don't know. I think these things, these spaces in life can be a little bit bittersweet because it is essentially allowing you to look at things that might have gotten in the way. We have anger in your blocked energy. Sometimes we don't even understand like how our reactions can affect people, situations, dynamics, etc. And we still do have some fire energy that is competing with us now being in Virgo season, which is earth energy. And no shade to you. Obviously, you are a fire sign. And so fire is a very natural disposition for you. Like you're not uncomfortable with it, right? Where someone who is a water sign may be a little bit more hesitant, timid, you know, and not as comfortable to go down that road. Not good, bad, right, or wrong. We also all have to emotionally regulate. You know, fire has to bring down the anger a little bit. Water signs can't get too emotional. You know, they can't get too crazy, right? Like everyone has their crazy is what I'm trying to say by that example. And we all have to learn how to manage and emotionally regulate so that like we can participate harmoniously in life. I feel like whether or not that is the central focus of this experience, I'm not quite sure. Yes and no. Yes and no, right? Like maybe there are some things in the emotional department, Sagittarius, that you can kind of be a little bit more mindful about. But I don't necessarily, I'm not picking up the vibe that this is the whole of it. Maybe that was a catalyst. Maybe getting pissed off about what someone said or did or whatever, it snowballed into, you know, this giant learning experience of how the downside of anger is it's quick to burn. And so sometimes we make decisions off the heat of the moment that kind of like get us into some, you know, dicey situations or messy places that we don't really want to be. You know, but here's the thing. This is what I'm seeing. It's because there's a lot on your effing plate, right? Like it's coming from the space of you feeling overwhelmed, or even if it is just in one situation, one area of your life where there's no impasse and it's just such a struggle. It's highlighting like just how anger can feed into that energy of disappointment, regret. And again, it's in a perfect world, we stay balanced through everything, but it like just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen at all. Okay. And you're coming in as the Knight of Wands. I'm so sorry, but this is actually all the, Ace of Wands, Knight of Wands. So fire energy all across the board, Sagittarius. Again, like I don't feel like you're beating yourself up, but I'm also going to reiterate that point of don't beat yourself up. Shit happens. That's what I want to say. And here's the thing. I think that this is actually helping you identify your needs and your wants even more. Like the ways that you do have so much stress and you need to either shave some things off your to-do list or delegate some tasks, whatever it may be, wherever you're finding this in your life right now, because you have people who are on board and willing to help. And there is something that's beginning again in your energy. But I feel like, again, reiterating that point, because you've been through it and because you're kind of tired, it might be a little hard to see the good. It might be hard to see the good. And especially if you did make a decision out of anger, oftentimes we really want to stand by, our decisions, why we did what we did. We have justifications for that stuff, etc. And so there might be a little resistance is what I'm hearing. But here's the thing. You have something around you this week that's willing, that's able, that's supportive and helpful. I just think you're taking your time to get there. You have all these people in your well, here's the thing. I'm seeing this as twofold. I feel like it's other people that are feeding into this situation. People who care about, I think that you get a lot of input from those around you. This looks like, okay, let's see who this is. Okay, 7 of Cups. This is supportive energy that's trying to help you overcome some of the difficulties, right? So it kind of looks like you have some options at hand. And again, it's hard right now because you're exhausted. That's like the main energy I'm getting from you. Definitely make sure to take care of yourself. I know it's a hard time to do so, but we are at the change of the season, right? We're in Virgo energy. Northern hemisphere, we're moving into the fall. Southern hemisphere, you're moving into the spring, right? Virgo season is all about spending time focusing on self-care, self-love, having a good daily routine in place. Ayurveda is super big into that. And it sounds so basic, it sounds so simple, but honestly, it's amazing how much it supports your energy. It's that value of maximum efficiency, minimum effort, right? Like we need our energy on a daily basis. And when we have a really good work rest flow, that actually helps us maximize, right? And I'm saying that to you specifically because you're all about maximizing. And sometimes it's about knowing when you're just a little bit burnt out or you need to push the pause button on something to rest, restore, rejuvenate, which I think this week is really good because there are lessons that are definitely coming to a head, coming to a climax. You have people around you that want to support you, so invest in those people. Like I said, delegate. Take a little bit of responsibility off your plate. Don't be so hard on yourself. I am letting go. Let go. That's the best we can do, especially when we've exhausted all of our resources, all of our options in certain situations, which we're definitely confronted with those from people, situations that we've been dealing with from the past, longevity, etc. And cutting ties with the ones that are also depleting our energy is so important as well. I know that focusing my attention on things I cannot control distracts me from my journey. So when we're always trying to find options, solutions, and people don't want to participate or they have a very strict way about how they want things to happen, what can you do? You're always going to be at the short end of the stick, right? I'm never stuck. I know that nothing bad lasts forever, even when my emotions tell me otherwise. Let yourself feel your feels, Sagittarius. It's not fun. And feeling them is not fun either. But when we do, we feel way better on the other side of it. Nothing lasts forever, right? It's going to be okay. You get through it. And I feel like when we're able to kind of connect with that part of surrender to the flow, that's where you see this shift happen around how you're manifesting, because you're not trying to control every nook and cranny. And usually when we are, that's when it gets all messed up, effed up. I'm taking up space. I love that. Claiming who you are. I know that I do not need to avoid making others uncomfortable by playing small. Be who you gotta be, We're coming from Leo season. We're still feeling that energy, that vibe of emanating that, like allowing your proverbial light to shine. Not everyone's gonna like it. Not everyone, it sounds like you've been dealing with like a controlling person, like someone who's trying to make you small for them, to kind of appease them and their wants and their needs. And I feel like it's an energy drain, right? And you're at this point where like, it is about letting go, releasing, so that you can move forward, so that you can take up space in your own life. You deserve that 100%, Sagittarius. Thank you so much for your time, energy, always. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you found messages that resonated for you here. Definitely drop comments below if you did. I'd love to hear, or just say, hey, share in a little love, little TLC. I so appreciate all the love, all the support to the channel. Know it blesses my heart, and I'm sending love and blessings back to you.